Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm here in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm here with there's a group, actually an event. It's called Black Diamond Weekend here, and apparently they celebrate Black-owned businesses. It was hosted by an amazing group called the Black Brand, and I want to check them out. I look forward to seeing what they're up to and supporting them. I think anybody who is pushing Black people to build wealth and to start businesses and to make good economic decisions is a group that I can relate to, a group that I can support, a group that I can love for sure. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Now, I've got some bad news today. Actually, Angela Stanton King, who was going to join us today, she could not make it. But you know what? I said, hey, since I got the mic on and everything's popping, I'm going to just go ahead and just have that conversation because I think that there's some things to talk about in terms of just this election and what's kind of been going on and some things to kind of process and think about as we move forward. Now, do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a quick yes in the chat if you can hear me. I see Black Lives Matters. How you doing? Justin Pender. Good to see you as well. Good to see you, Terrence. Torrance, blessings to you as well. Thank you so much. And so once you let me know if you can hear me and give me the audio check, let me sort of give you some thoughts in terms of this election and just some of the aftermath. It's been pretty messy from what I'm seeing. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are happy. And there's a lot of division, right? And I can tell you, I don't think division's ever good for any country. There's no society. There's no society that prospers under division, and no community that can really grow if we hate each other and we're fighting with our spouses and our siblings and all this other stuff. So I hope you will agree with me that we've got to just kind of stop this. Like, we can't keep on telling each other who to vote for and acting like which colonizer you pick is going to make a difference in our lives, because I don't think it does. I just don't. I'm sorry. I think that I kind of think it's I kind of think it's silly, honestly. I think it's emotion, right? Emotions are not rational, and and the chaos after this election has been just or during the election, before the election, after the election. It's shenanigans, right? And I'm not a fan of any of that. I think it's interesting to talk about in terms of us deciding who we're going to be and what we're going to do, but I really don't think that it's worth it long term. I don't think there's any long term benefit. And so anyway, let me know if you guys. Tony says I'm freezing. Am I freezing? I'm moving around. Am I freezing? Can you see me? Am I motion? If I have motion, let me know. Tony says I'm freezing. So Tony, I'm listening to you, brother. So let me know, Tony, if I'm moving in your world, or if you can at least hear me. All right. So yeah. So today's guest was going to be Angela Stanton King. Angela cannot make it today. So if you came to see her, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I'm going to bring her back on Tuesday, or that's the date we agreed on. We haven't picked the time yet, but when that happens, I will let you all know. Please, if you want to be notified when I go live on my channel, pull out your phone, text the word Boyce to the number 87948. So text Boyce to 87948, because what I'll do is I'll reach out to you periodically and let you guys know some of what is going on in terms of what I'm saying. And one thing I'm going to tell you that I think is really interesting is how many of you have been watching the price of Bitcoin this week? Give me a yes if you've noticed. While everybody's out screaming and hollering and yelling and going berserk, has anybody noticed that the Bitcoin price, just sort of quietly crept up to another record high? How many of y'all know that Bitcoin is insanely high right now? Okay, somebody says my audio is good, but my video is freezing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my video so that y'all won't have you won't have the pleasure of looking at my amazingly handsome face. But I'm going to go ahead and take that off, so that way that'll help, hopefully. All right. So how many of you have noticed that? Have you noticed what's been going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin's been going bananas. It's at 77,000. Holy crap, 77,000. That's insane. And what I'm going to do is show you something to just sort of help you keep your eye on the ball, so you don't get caught up in the same nonsense that's keeping everybody broke. All the people in the room that are not going to be broke, say yes in the chat. Give me a yes or type never broke in the chat if you are one of the few people, because I say few because a lot of Americans are going to struggle financially. They're going to keep struggling. Type never broke in the chat if your plan is to focus on the money and not just on the politics and the emotion. So I want all my never broke people up in here, because literally while you are sitting there screaming and hollering about whether you think somebody likes you, Whether somebody you think he don't like, I heard he don't like black people. Of course he don't like black people. None of them like black people. Like, why you need somebody to like you? Ain't your mama's supposed to like you? Like your daddy's supposed to like you. I mean, your children like you. I like you. Why you need why would it make your day better if Donald Trump said he likes you? Like I just don't understand that. So all my never broke people, that's what we need to have a NBA. What's it? NBA young boy never broke again. We need to be NBC, the Never Broke Club, because I really want to talk to the people that really want to focus on the money. Because if you got money in your pocket, you don't care who likes you. Tell me if you get what I'm saying. If you got money in your pocket, it does not matter if somebody wants to be your friend. I've had money for a long time, and I can tell you money will buy you any friend that you want. That's just the truth. Broke people are for sale. So if you want to have friends, if you want to have company, you want to have people around, then get some money in your pocket, and that you will attract human beings like magnets. In fact, I keep my circle small. I don't hang out with a lot of people, honestly. I just don't. I don't really need all that. I know y'all love me, and I love you, and I love my family, and I'm with my wife and my kids. But I ain't run around with no entourage. If you see me, for example, at the Black Diamond Weekend, you're gonna see me and a guy named Micah. Micah is my security guard. Micah, don't step aggressively because Micah might kill you. That's all you're gonna see is me talking to Micah. Like, hey Micah, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. Good, brother. How's your family? Like that, right? But I'm not really running with no entourage. I don't need all that. Like, oh, they like, I need Trump to like black people. I don't think that any of these people like black people. I just don't. And I want you to like yourself. And the other thing I'll tell you, here's a little secret for those who don't know, is that if you like yourself, then you don't care so much about whether or not other people like you. Give me a yes if you agree with that. So get some money in your pocket and get some self-esteem in your heart. If you get some self-esteem in your soul and some dollars in your pocket, you won't be running around wondering if a Republican or a Democrat is your friend or not. So here you go. So check this out. Look at Bitcoin right now. It's 77,000, which is absolutely outrageous. It's a very high number relative to what it used to be. If you go back in time, just so you can know about missing opportunities, y'all know the definition of poor, right? The word poor. Y'all know, how many of y'all know the acronym for the word poor? What does poor stand for? Poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. So let me show you the opportunities that were passed over by those of us who spent more time trying to get Donald Trump to like you or trying to get white folks to like you than you spent actually focusing on your wealth. Bitcoin is 77,000. 6 months ago, just 6 months ago, it was $15,000 less. It was literally down to what, 61,000 or something like that. So you could have bought super cheap way back then, 55,000. Look at that. You could have bought it 55,000. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You could just buy a piece of a Bitcoin. And right there in your face, you would have made an extra $15,991. Now let's go back to year to date. If you started at the beginning of this year, I'm not talking about 20 years ago. I'm not talking about, ancient history. I'm talking about January. If you had started buying Bitcoin in January, you could have bought Bitcoin for about 45,000. And give me a yes if you've been rocking with us long enough to know that I was talking about Bitcoin at the start of the year. I was telling you in broad daylight, like the money was right there in front of you in broad daylight. I was telling everyone, I said, yes, I'm investing in Bitcoin heavily. How many of y'all remember that? We've been talking about this. I said, look, nothing's guaranteed in investing. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But all the indicators are telling me that Bitcoin would be a good place to put your bread, your extra money. I said this. A lot of people have said this. And so this is not a mystery. This is not a mystery. See, what I really would need us to stop doing is run around acting like, the reason that most of us don't have what we want is because the rich people they hide the knowledge. They keep it away from us. They don't tell us where the money is. This is what rich people don't want you to know. What is it that they don't want you to know? Everybody knows Bitcoin was going up. Bitcoin was gonna make everybody rich in broad daylight. It's not like this was a secret. I was screaming this from the rooftops every single day, and I wasn't the only one. Let me keep going. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's go out a year. Let's go 5 years. Remember, the word poor stands for what? Poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. So let's look at other opportunities. I'm not here to make nobody feel bad. I'm here to make you feel good about the future. I'm here to make you prepare for the future. Is it too late to catch Bitcoin? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But still, though, you're going to make mistakes. You know, sometimes you invest in stuff and it doesn't work out. Investing is like love. Sometimes you love the girl and she didn't love you back, and that's okay. You still got to keep trying. So stop wondering like, well, gosh, can I still catch this train? I want to catch this train. Maybe you missed the damn train. Maybe this is the train. This is the girl that you missed. Maybe this is the woman that ain't never coming back. But I can guarantee you this much. There's more fish in the sea. There's a whole lot more fish in the sea. There's somebody else you could be in love with. Maybe Bitcoin isn't your girl anymore. Maybe Bitcoin has moved. Maybe some of that train has passed. I don't think it has. I'm going to keep investing. But still, though, there's something else out there. Your future self in 2032 is screaming at you right now because there's an opportunity somewhere in your face right now that some of y'all are not going to find. But in order for you to find it, you have to take action. In order for you to have a chance to win big, you must take a chance. So here, let's keep looking at this. This is almost like a financial consciousness exercise. So if you go back 5 years, you could have bought this $77,000 Bitcoin. Y'all gonna laugh, for $9,000. How many of y'all remember 2019? Anybody remember 2019? Anybody remember 2019? It's like I remember like it was yesterday. It's right before the pandemic. It wasn't that long ago. And even at that time, Bitcoin was doing something amazing. Bitcoin was up to 9,000. And because a lot of people don't have financial consciousness, which that's something that we teach every single day. I do that for free in the Black Business School. I'll send you guys an invitation in a second. Because a lot of people don't have financial consciousness, they cannot see the future. They get so trapped in the present that they don't realize that there's more to come, that the future is on its way. So when Bitcoin hit 9,000, a lot of people were selling their Bitcoin at 9,000. They just said, man, oh my God, this Bitcoin, it went up from $10 to $9,000. Oh, whoa, I better sell. And guess what? They missed the rest of the story. They didn't understand that Bitcoin is not, it's not a senior citizen. Bitcoin is in its infancy. So here you could see that you could have bought this Bitcoin for 9,000. Look at how low that. Look at that. Y'all see the card? Tell me if you can see that on my screen. Give me a yes if you see this. Those that are listening on Spotify won't be able to see it, but I'll describe it to you. And by the way, I do have 2 Spotify podcasts. If you go look up Boyce Watkins on Spotify, I'd love it if you guys would please follow me on Spotify because it's really hard. I'm not a corporate entity in terms of like having that high level, that flashy Negro support, like those Negroes who are campaigning for political candidates. Like I'm not mainstream like that. I'm just a guy who wants to be independent. So I need your help. So all you got to do is go to Spotify, type in my name, Boyce Watkins, and I guarantee you I will give you value and substance every day. I may not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm not going to tell you no BS. I'm not going to tell you a lie. I'm going to tell you what I believe. I'm going to tell you what I see. So if you type in Boyce Watkins, you'll find the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. You'll also find Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market, where I update you on investing possibilities and opportunities and ways to make money every single day. So anyway, here you go. You could have bought this Bitcoin for $7,573 in November 30th, 2019. Now, here's the thing. The crazy part about that is that when Bitcoin hit that price, there were so many people who just thought, oh my God, dang, I missed out. I missed it. I could have got there early. I missed it. But as you can see, you didn't miss anything. Right? Like your 2019 self, if you had a time machine, you'd probably go back and slap that person. You would. Tell me if you agree. You'd probably go back and slap the shit out of yourself and you'd say, put the cheeseburger down. Don't spend the money going out with that girl that don't even like you. You do not need a new purse. And I need you to go buy some Bitcoin consistently. Give me a yes if you agree that you would do that. Give me a yes if you agree with me that if you could go back to 2019 right now, you would literally find yourself. And if you're a guy, you would kick yourself in the nuts and tell yourself, put all your money in Bitcoin because we about ready to be rich. Okay, that's what you would do, right? And unfortunately, investing. This is kind of what investing is. Investing's not complex. Investing is pretty much just a mindset. It's a commitment to where you are thinking about the future as well as the present. It's a consciousness exercise. That's why I created a class called Financial Consciousness. I have a PhD in finance. I can teach you all about banking and international finance, and I understand the real estate and every area of finance. When you get a PhD, you cover a little bit of everything. But I said, no, we need to add to the curriculum. We need financial consciousness because access to information is not the problem. Access to knowledge, like where to, what to invest in and all that, that's not really hard. That information is out there. The problem is that we have habits that betray us, or we get distracted with things that don't put money in our pocket. Think about this. People that have plenty of money are very good at distracting people that have no money at all. I want you to think about that for a second. So while Elon and Trump are sitting up in the White House with billions of dollars, and the people on the left are, Kamala and Dougie are doing quite well financially, a lot of people are struggling, but they were in the middle of all these battles and all this fighting and all this nonsense that I don't think really benefits you long term. I mean, you don't win long term if you fight your cousin so much that you say something you can't take back, and then you decide you're never going to speak again. I just don't think that's rational at all. And I think rather than fighting with your cousin about who's going to get elected, I encourage you right now, if you got that cousin, some of y'all got those cousins that you've been fighting with, I need you to pick up the phone, call that cousin up and say, hey, cuz, you know what? I'm sorry for what I said. I'm sorry I called you a coon for being a Trump supporter, or I'm sorry I called you a name because you supported Kamala Harris. How about this? How about we get together and we go get this money? How about we go get this money? We're not going to go get Democrat money. We're not going to get Republican money. We're going to go get us some black money. How about that? Or if you white, you can go get you some white money. I'm not even mad about that. If you Asian, go get you some Asian money. If you Greek, go get you some Greek money. If you Italian, get you some Italian money. Because I can tell you right now, here's what I can tell you. As a person who has been teaching finance to college students since 1993, I'm not a young person. I just look young. I'm not young. I can tell you, as a person who's been inundated with finance and financial information and been teaching college students finance for the last 25, 30 years, I can guarantee you with beyond any reasonable doubt that your country is being run by the people that have the money. And that now you don't have to necessarily have more money than they do, but you're going to have to protect yourself by having some sort of financial security. If you don't have financial security in this country, you're going to be fried. That means if you are a Democrat and you have no financial security, you will be fried. If you are a Republican and you have no financial security, you will be fried. Elon Musk is not a person who sits around worrying about how poor people are doing in America. He's just not that guy. He's trying to get rocket ships to Mars. He's trying to build robo-taxis. He's trying to develop AI. He's trying to control satellites. He's trying to increase his own power. He's trying to increase his own wealth. He probably makes a good $20 million a day. And he ain't thinking about you. He ain't thinking about me. He ain't thinking about none of us. But I'm thinking about us. I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about your family. And so what I want you to do really is I just want you to get together with those relatives and build something. Don't get together just so you can destroy each other. That is not going to help you win long term. Give me a yes if you agree with what I'm saying here. Okay, so let's look at this Bitcoin thing one more time. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Everybody thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people, but you don't have to be black to be here. Some of you are not black, but we don't hate nobody. We love everybody, but we just love ourselves too. So if you agree with me that loving black people does not mean you hate white people, give me a yes in the chat. I have to make that clear because sometimes when you are very pro-black, people get nervous and they think that must mean you're anti-white. I'm not anti-white. I'm pro-truth. I'm pro-wealth. I'm pro-family. I'm pro-common sense. I'm pro-hard work. That's what I am. I'm pro-health. I'm pro-mental health, pro-physical health. That's who I am. All right, so let me show you this last part of the chart. So if I hit this chart and I go out to the max length, max distance on this, I want you to look at Bitcoin. Okay, so it's 77,000 now. And let's really go back in time. And let's go back to 2016. We were talking about Bitcoin every day in 2016. If y'all remember, and if you go back and watch videos we were doing in 2016, we were talking about Bitcoin in 2016 and 2017. It's not like we just discovered Bitcoin this week. So back here, when Bitcoin was trading for less than 1,000, you see that number? Can y'all see it? 715.56 on November 11th, 2016. That's almost exactly 8 years ago today. You could have bought your Bitcoin for about $715. Now, I want you to really think about this, and I want you to consider what would have happened if you had bought, since that time, let's say $20 worth of Bitcoin per week, right? So I want you to just kind of like, let's just do a thought experiment on this, and just kind of ask ourselves, like, what if a person in 2008, or sorry, 2016, bought $20 worth of Bitcoin every week, right? How much money would they have, right? So I want y'all to try to guess. I want y'all to try to guess how much they would have in their bank account right now. Now, this is the person who doesn't have a lot of money, but $20 a week, a lot of people could afford this. You can't really go out to clubs with $20. You can get in, but you can't buy a drink or anything. The girls are not going to go home with you if you've only got like your last $20, unless you're really good looking. And I'm just average, so I probably need to have at least $50 or something. You can't really go out to eat hardly. With $20, you definitely can't pay like any significant bills with $20. So $20 a week is not a massive amount of money, right? One thing you should probably know is that, check this out. So if you had put $20 a week in Bitcoin since 2016, you would right now in your bank account have $9,600 or $360, $9,360. Now, if you had put $200 a week into your Bitcoin account every week, just set it and forget it, you would have $93,600. You'd have almost $100,000 just off $200 a week investment. Now, I want you to think about your life. I don't want you to go back in 8 years. I want you to think about the things that we've spent several $100s a month on that gave us nothing. Right? I want you to think about all the money you wasted. I want you to think about your car note. If your car note's $500 a month, then you've been spending that consistently every month. You probably pay your bills on time. If you've been paying rent to the landlord and you've paid your rent consistently for the last 8 years, a lot of us are paying $1,500, $2,000 a month in rent. Maybe money that just gets wasted. I want you to think about how much you make, right? And if you're making $5,000 or $6,000 a month, most of us would end up looking back and saying, yeah, we probably wasted some money there. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand is that I don't think I know that you can enjoy your money and still prepare for the future at the same time. I don't think you should ever think that investing requires you to be a miser. Investing does not require you to give up all your joy in life. Investing literally actually means that you can spend money and even waste some money and still be okay. One of the things I talked to a young kid when I spoke in Killeen, Texas last week at a black hair show down there. And they were the most amazing, wonderful people there. And I met a 19-year-old kid who told me that he was investing. And he told me, I said, so what are you investing in? He said, I'm investing in penny stocks. I said, don't do that. Penny stocks are terrible. I said, if I was you, I would, after you finish buying your penny stocks, remember you're gambling though at that point. I said, put your money in the S&P 500 companies, go and buy you some Microsoft, buy you some Tesla, buy you some Google, buy you some Amazon, right? And that those stocks, those are companies that are going to make money because they are experts at making money. The interesting thing about these companies, the interesting thing about the Metas and the Berkshire Hathaways and the Broadcoms and the Eli Lillys is that they always tend to know how to adapt, right? Like there'll never be a time where AI will be so good that these companies forget how to make money. Costco ain't never going to forget how to make money because Costco can hire the best people to help them to adapt. So these companies are extremely adaptive. And I told them, I said, look, if you do this and you take your extra money, I said, give yourself a matching program. I said, enjoy your life, live your life, spend your money, do what kids do. But here's all I need you to do. I said, every time you waste a nickel, I want you to invest a nickel. That's it. If you waste $1, I want you to invest $1. That means if you go out and you buy, 2 cheeseburgers, an order of fries, and a drink, and it costs you $12.42, I want you to open up your app and I want you to buy $12.42 worth of stock with that money. This is my way of washing away your sins. You know how you go to Catholic church and they tell you to say 3 Hail Marys, and even if you kill 10 people, like you're suddenly magically forgiven or something, right? So this is the church of money, right? Or maybe we could call it the NBC church, the church of the Never Broke Coalition, right? So this is the Never Broke church. So in the Never Broke church, if you want to be forgiven of your sins, I think this is kind of fun, right? So if in the Never Broke church, if you want to be forgiven of your sin of wasting money, just tithe, but don't be tithing to the pastor. I'm not saying tithe to me, tithe to yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Be nice to yourself. And so what that means is every time you spend $25, just buy yourself $25 worth of stock. You go to the mall, you drop $200, you feel guilty, make it up to yourself. Put the same $200 into your stock portfolio. Because I can tell you like this, the way I look at it is very, very basic is you're more important than whoever sold you those pants at the mall. Your life is more important than than that night at the club. You don't want to pay for the rest of your life because you thought your life was only going to exist for the next 2 or 3 days. And I think that sometimes we forget these things, that you can enjoy the present and maximize the future at the same time. And if you're a good enough investor, you can actually create a life where the present is amazing, but the future is extraordinary. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's a simple idea. I think I should formalize it. I don't know. Maybe I can call it like tithing or something, personal tithing. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with a name for it, because I think that I can tell you again, because I'm a finance professor, I can see things in a certain way. And I can tell you that doing basic things like that will literally make a difference, not just for you in your future, but it'll make a difference for your family across multiple generations. That it's that simple. It's not rocket science. Okay. So anyway, one of the things I wanted to mention for anybody who just came in is I was going to actually interview Angela Stanton King. She could not make it today, and I was real disappointed. I was like, man, dang it, Angela, I wish you had told me before. I was all up in, I was sleeping. I was taking a good nap. I was having good dreams. And then I had to get up for the interview, and she wasn't even here. Dang it, girl. What are you doing? But anyway, I love Angela Stanton King, and she actually runs something that I admire called Angie's House. And they actually, Angela is pro-life, and she's very passionate about it. And I happen to be pro-life in the sense that, my mother was a prime candidate for Planned Parenthood. I mean, my mother was 16 when she got pregnant with me, and they probably felt, I know that they felt that her life would have been better off to get rid of me, and it would have been. That's true. I mean, it would have been easier to get rid of me and not have me here. But instead, my mother, for whatever reason, she saw the bigger picture. I guess God is the one who guided her in that direction. So long story short, she ended up giving birth to me, and our lives have been great together. And the biggest thing I learned from that experience is that the present isn't all that there is. There's always like a lot of the game left to play. And I think sometimes we just forget that. Sometimes we think that what's happening right now is the weightiest thing in the world. And I can tell you, my mother, we've been in each other's lives since I was a baby. I thank her all the time for not terminating me. My father, I appreciated my father taking care of me. He stepped in when my biological father, unfortunately, didn't have the wherewithal to be a dad. I don't know what happened to him, but he wasn't there. And I paid off their house. I was like, what do you want? Like, I got money. I can do whatever you need me to do. I'm here for you. So now that they're retired and they need young people to help them out and help them get things done, guess who they can call anytime for any reason. So, you got to remember, your kids are valuable. Your kids are part of your retirement plan. I talked about that today in our financial consciousness training. I just want to reiterate that and help you understand that you're already wealthy. You just may not have a lot of money, but if you got kids, you're wealthy. If you're young and healthy, you're wealthy. If you got free time on your hands, you're wealthy. You just have to figure out how to turn that wealth into dollar bills. And that's where financial literacy comes in. If you got financial literacy, then what happens is you can take other forms of wealth, whether it's free time or oil or anything, and you can turn it into cash, right? And that's really the skill set that I don't think they want kids to have, that, because they could easily teach this in public schools, but they don't. Instead, they teach them a bunch of crap that doesn't actually help them long term, and that really infuriates me because I see a lot of kids coming out of school and they get lost in this economy. This economy is very competitive. It's very capitalist. And if you come into a capitalist society with no preparation, you're pretty much going to get screwed. If you come into a capitalist society and you have no economic protection, you're probably going to end up being somebody's slave. If you don't have any resources and you don't have any skill, then what's going to happen is you're going to have to surrender yourself and sell yourself into slavery to the corporations or to somebody who doesn't like you very much. And I really don't want that for you or your kids or anybody in your family. So that's what financial literacy means to me. It's not just about the money. Now, anyway, guys, I'm about to go. Do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. We do stock options, and one of the best ways to make money that I've ever dealt with or run into is selling stock options. And so if you go to drboyceprime.com, you can take a look and see what we're doing in the area of selling stock options. I know you're going to be impressed. I know you're going to love it. Also, every morning we do a free financial consciousness class every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join us for financial consciousness training, we call it Economic Elevation. Feel free to text the word morning to the number 87948. So just text morning to 87948, or you can also go to b1moneytips.com if you live in another country. I will send you an invitation. We are going to meet tomorrow morning, as we do every single day, and I'll hit you guys up when we meet for class again. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it, and sorry about what happened to Angela Stanton King. I'm going to talk to her and see if I can get her back in here by Tuesday, and we'll still have that politics conversation. But I'm going to tell you, to me, I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in economic tips. They're economics. There we go. That's my term, economics. I'm not. I don't care so much about the politics. I mean, but I understand if you do, and don't take any offense if you think that I do or don't support the person that you wanted to see in office. I empathize with that. I really, really do, and my heart goes out to you, or whatever you need in order to feel better. But I really want us to move forward and focus on ourselves, because these politicians, y'all know, they thinking about themselves. They ain't thinking about us. So I think that us needs to think about us. How about that? All right. So God bless you guys. Have a good day. I will see you soon. Take care. Peace.